I've learned that human beings are really good liars and that they lie about their friendships with you. And women may come around the person, but they actually hate you. And they lie and act like they're your friends. But your own brain will warn you of this being false. Your brain is a survival machine. The feedback you receive, it's like your brain's kind of like a biological computer circuit board, and it downloads information like a computer. So the feedback you receive, it downloads um, in computer terms. And then, so the reason people are insecure, okay, because of the feedback they get in public and behind closed doors. So their brain adapts to that, and it acts like a warning machine. And so anytime a person thinks that they should talk to people, they choose not to. This ties in with what we consider antisocial personality disorder, according to the DSM anyway. But nobody's really antisocial. I'm going to tell you that right now. People choose not to be social, not because they don't want to be social, but because they know being social is a waste of time and they're not going to get anywhere with it. Because being social and developing social skills, if you want to call it that, is actually dependent on how good looking you are. The better looking you are, the more likely you're going to want to socialize. And the reason society has an issue with that is because it makes society look primitive. Um, Honesty is not something that society values. Intelligence isn't either. They want people just smart enough to work the machines, as George Carlin stated, but dumb enough not to use critical thinking. A quote from George Carlin. Here's another thing. When women say they like smart guys, what they actually mean is they like street smart guys. They're not talking about guys who have an interest in social psychology, human psychology, evolutionary psychology, or any sphere of science. That's not what they mean. And besides that, it's about the face anyway. There's no such thing as dark triad. There's no such thing as bad boy or good guy or light triad. Dark triad's a myth. And dark triad studies are not taking into consideration the attractiveness of the individuals. Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy, all these people were considered conventionally attractive during their time. And so that's what women were interested in, not their behavior. Um, Now, are their behaviors good? No, absolutely not, but it doesn't matter because they're good looking. There are shelters full of people who fail to detect the bad personalities of the people they selected. Now, of course, it's unfortunate that people are in these shelters. Don't get me wrong. But you cannot tell someone that it's about personality when you are going for people who beat on you. I'm sorry. If you're going to preach about personality, stop dating people that abuse you. And someone who's fucking intelligent is going to see through that virtue signaling. Here are some of the psychological traits of a woman who finds a dude unattractive. She sees him, she gets on her phone, pretends she's texting. Her body language. Body language is far more important than verbal communication. Women who think a guy's unattractive will look at him with a puzzled look of confusion. Even when they act interested to fuck with their heads to make other people jealous, they will. There will always be small cues that they actually find that motherfucker repulsive. Believe it or not, women do kiss dudes they think are ugly. They do it to toy with them. Um, and it hurts the dude, honestly, but there's nothing you can do about it. So, I mean, you can't just change your genetics and then become good looking. That's not how that works. Skincare has no relevance to the attractiveness of a face, at least in the context of if you already have a good structure. Skincare is irrelevant, haircuts are irrelevant, beards are irrelevant. Delusional siblings will tell people skincare, all that. No, unless you have a good face to begin with. And mind you, I've lost 250 pounds. I used to be really obese. It took me several years. I'm down to at least 170 pounds. Guess what? Nothing changed. I didn't become better looking. Parents and siblings today reason like they have an IQ of 70. They don't. They act like they don't understand how life works. They're dumb. They're really stupid. Um, they think their success is the result of confidence. Women will say they like a guy who laughs or they like a sparkle in his eye. What the fuck does that even mean? And besides that, they also say they like a good personality. Well, one, personality is subjective. I will say that. Personality is subjective. It's dependent on the person who sees you, how they interpret your personality. And two, there are men who beat on their women. And for some screwed up reason, people still think they have a good personality. I know someone specifically that lived by my brother. He beat the shit out of his girlfriend, nearly killed her. The dude is still attracting women. In the town of my town, my location, they're not complaining about what this dude did. I was once at a bar and there was this dude talking about how he hit his mother. And you know what the chick said? She said, "Oh, I understand why you did it." No, you don't. You don't understand why he did it. You're saying you understand because you think he's good looking. Again, the halo horn effect, social psychology. Look, I even write my shit down. I get my shit off pubmd.gov. Mind you, government funded science.gov. PubMD. The importance of physical attractiveness, the bias of beauty, beauty in court cases, all government documents. I wrote it down. It doesn't matter. If it goes against someone's interests, their narrative, they're going to discard it as biased data. My brother, who's completely delusional about life and women and society in general, talked about that there were studies about how women cared more about personality. Now, I went on to one of these studies, and yeah, it did say that women care more about personality, but there was one minor detail that he chose not to look at. It states that the overall contribution of a woman's interest in a man was still his looks. So the study actually proved that women select men based on how they look, and then they stay with his because of his personality. But here's the key factor: they still got with the guy, and then they decided to stay with him based on his personality. Or one may even argue that they interpreted his personality based on how he looked without realizing it. The point of these studies isn't to prove that looks don't matter. The point of these studies is to demonstrate that looks matter, but women take into consideration personality. But here's the thing: when you're walking in public and women are avoiding you, they've already decided that you got a bad personality. So, how can a woman actually get to know a dude's personality if she doesn't try to make it easy for him to approach her? See, what is causing involuntary celibacy is not the result of pornography, or a dude just wants to stay home and play video games all day. These are politically correct scapegoats. The reason someone is an incel is because he's ugly. Pornography has nothing to do with that. Games have nothing to do with that. It is nature that has everything to do with it. I've seen some of the arguments against incel ideology, and they are all faulty. They're based on attacking the person, not the arguments. The data. They can't attack the data, so they attack the person. Mm. There's not a single person that does not want another good looking person as a partner. None. There's no way. Anyone who says that they're different than everyone else and that they go for personality is a liar. Because personality cannot create genuine attraction. Only looks can do that. By looks, I mean the face. Muscularity has no relevance. If you already have a good genetic structure, muscularity is only icing to the topping. Uh, um, Said I was going to help some people, and so I will. And then I'm planning on self deletion. And it's going to happen either way. Even if this were to be reported, I'll still fight anyone who tries to stop me. I mean, if anyone were to try to stop me, be that con artist psychiatry, which just uses legalized versions of methamphetamine to castrate the individual to make them think stupid, or the police, I would still fight either one, and I would be more than glad to be shot down in the process to fight for what I believe in. So it doesn't matter how I die, as long as I die. And if I'm on the world news because I was shot down, because I wanted to be shot down, if I fought these people with my fists, mind you, so that they blow my brains out, those in this world who are incels will know why I died. They will know that my eventual destruction was a result of being ugly. My dad's better looking than I am. His life is a demonstration of that. But not even he could attract a lot of good looking chicks. I've seen some of the chicks he attracted in the past, not good looking. But he's still better looking than me. He's got a better eye area. His eyes are almond shaped eyes with and his brow structure covers his upper eyelids. He's got a longer mid face and it's wider. His skull looks more proportioned and masculine than mine, and his gonial angle and his jaw are thicker than mine. He is a better carbon copy of myself because in the 80s, men had higher testosterone in general. Men who have small faces have lower testosterone levels during puberty. Um, women don't like women don't like guys that look really soft in appearance. It's a turnoff to them because from their perspective, it indicates a lack of dominance. Women like, and here's the thing: you don't have to be a Chad pretty boy to attract women. You just have to be average. By average, I mean specifically you have to look masculine. You don't have to be above average. You don't have to look exceptionally aesthetic. You just have to have a threshold that your masculinity meets her desire. And if you're not masculine looking, mind you, pickup art's a scam, and acting masculine isn't going to do anything. So you have to at least be average. People often conflate average with normal looking. They see life in black and white. There's no gray area with them. Analytic thought is not well esteemed either. But by average, I mean they look manly, they sound manly, they have a gruff masculine face, a small angling jawline, a pointed triangular nose, high arched brows, and uh, rounded eyes are feminine traits. When women see a man they think's attractive, subconsciously they guard their vulnerable areas because it's a subconscious thought, and to be open with your body language indicates vulnerability. And so subconsciously, women are designed to protect um, their reputation. You know, so I'm around a few women, and I only learn more about them. I thought I had it all figured out. I went through a stage of being really hateful about women for a long time, and I said all types of shit I shouldn't have said, and I realized I was wrong. Women are extremely intelligent. The media, or not the media, religions portray women as dumb, but at the same time, they acknowledge their intelligence. Women are intelligent, they're very bright. And I know this probably shouldn't have to be stated, but a lot of people think that women are dumb. They're not. They're intelligent. They can put on a poker face. They can lie out of their teeth on the smallest things and even bigger things. And so they're extremely intelligent, and they're they're masters at the art of lying and manipulation. They're better at it than dudes are. I'll give them that. But you have to have experience with being lied to in order to detect their lies. And your gut will sometimes warn you that someone's lying. Oh. Um. Anyway, that's enough for today. For this video, anyway.